Captain by a hook with a red beard. Captain by a hook with a red beard.
Oh baby, oh boy. It's been 217 days. Check the watch. 217 days since we've been able to feast our eyes on college basketball. The most magical, exciting, and intense sport there is, coming from a fan first. Today is college basketball extravaganza right here on Captain by a Hook. I will touch on a few other sports, Golden Gloves in Major League Baseball. I want to touch on a few other moves across Major League Baseball that got announced over the weekend. I'll touch on some NFL, a few thoughts of mine at this point in the season. Also, some Monday Night Football talk. I do have a bet or two there on the gridiron. The NBA in-season tournament over the weekend. But all of that is minor news too. College basketball tipping off, and it tips off here first. Yes, sir. I will give you all of my bets for today. How many you got? I got a lot. But how many? 17 bets for this Monday, today, November 6th. The 6th of November. As you see on the bottom of the screen, College Hoops is here. Also, we'll talk all futures, win totals, conference, outright winners. Every bet that I have placed over the last few weeks going into this season will get discussed and talked about here today. It's going to be a beautiful one, an awesome one, an amazing one, if you will. Man. 217 days. The countdown has been real. Let's dive into it. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives, going live on a most beautiful Monday of all, the 6th of November, for the 15th time in the last 3 minutes, the first day of college basketball. Yes. This is a morning show. Let's jump into the MLB real quick. Get all that nonsense out of here. Chicago, the White Sox, my White Sox, if you will, declined picking up Tim Anderson's option. As heartbreaking as it is, writing's been kind of on the wall since, well, not trying to be funny here, but since he got his ass knocked out against Cleveland. However, I still don't think it's the right move. The White Sox are the only team that rebuilds for a rebuild. We've been rebuilding since 2005. 2020 was supposed to finally have the rebuild complete. We were supposed to be competing these next 3-4 seasons. Well, that has been the last 3-4 seasons, and those seasons have been anything but competitive on the south side of Chicago. Joey Votto and the Cincinnati Reds. This is a weird one. Brought a tear to my eye, and I'm not lying. Cincinnati Reds declined the $20 million option on Joey Votto, which leaves him in a weird position as a player. We just watched Miggy do his farewell tour. We saw Molina, Wayno. Those teams were loyal to those players, and it was a beautiful thing. This is the stuff that is not beautiful. Joey Votto now has a few options. He could just retire, be forced into retirement, walk off into the sunset, always a Cincinnati Red. Or he can play 1, 2, maybe 3 seasons, probably meaningless baseball, ring chasing, or just on another team, not ring chasing. Which, picture Joey Votto in anything but red. You can't do it. You can't do it. That news was heartbreaking. However, last night, some fun stuff did get announced. Excuse me. Excuse me. This is a morning show. Sometimes the voice needs to wake up. The Golden Gloves, my favorite award. Silver Slugger's fun. It's cool. It's awesome. But it's usually, you usually know who the Silver Sluggers are going to be. The Golden Glove, however, it's an opinion piece. It's given on flashing the glove, playing defense. Defense. All of those reasons is why it is my favorite. Some shocking news in the Golden Glove Awards. Nolan Arenado, my guy, my favorite player, not winning a Golden Glove Award after winning it for 10 straight seasons. Just adding a little salt and pepper to the season that was the St. Louis Cardinals baseball, baby. But here's the list in the American League, starting with the first baseman, Nathaniel Lowe of the world champion Rangers, getting the Golden Glove. Second base goes to Andres Jimenez for the Guardians. Third base, Old Faithful, Matt Chapman, one of the most underrated players, if you ask me. Shortstop, Anthony Volpe, baby, for the New York Yankees, getting his Gold Glove as a rookie. Second one in a row. Jeremy Pena of the Stros last year won it as a rookie. The catcher, going back to the World Series Rangers. How many times have you heard that? Only once. First time they've ever won it. Jonah Heim, Golden Glove as the catcher. Pitcher, Jose Barrios for the Toronto Blue Jays gets a Gold Glove. Left field, Stephen Kwan of the Guardians. Center field, Kevin Kiermaier in his first season as a Blue Jay. And then in right field, Adolis Garcia, again, for the World Series winning Rangers. Utility player to get the Golden Glove in the American League, Mauricio Dubon. Mauricio Dubon. Horrible with names. Never heard of this guy. Hopefully, that's how you say his name. Moving on to the National League. This one surprised me. I don't know why. He had an error in the World Series, and then he gets a Golden Glove. Christian Walker, baby, for the D-backs, getting his second Golden Glove of his career. At second base, you got Nico Hoerner. Nico Hoerner. Second baseman for the Cubbies, baby, getting a Gold Glove for the first time after a tremendous season. Third base, this is the one. And I said that about Nolan Arenado. I want to be clear. Keep Ryan Hayes, the guy who won it, third base, National League Golden Glove, keep Brian Hayes for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Fantastic season. I watched at least 24 Pirates games this season, and he was flashing that leather on the hot corner. So shout out to him, man. First time in his 11 seasons. He's probably should have got it, but Nolan Arenado was hogging them all up. Shout out to keep Brian Hayes. I really do love that he got one. Shortstop. Dansby Swanson, baby. First season with the Cubs. Gets a golden glove. The catcher, going back to the Diamondbacks of Arizona, Gabriel Moreno, getting a golden glove as a rookie, putting on a show all season. He really is, in my opinion, one of the best trades in Arizona franchise history. He's going to be their catcher for a long time, and he's going to be a great player, both defensively and offensively, I believe, for a long time. The pitcher who gets the Golden Glove, Zach Wheeler, Philadelphia Phillies. And then moving on to the outfield. In left, we have Ian Happ for the Cubs. Center field is Brenton Dole for the Rockies. Shout out the Rockies. Getting a no-name guy some love. And then this one was a surprising move. And I thought about it last night. What if 20 years from now, nobody remembers this guy as a shortstop? In right field, winning his first Gold Glove, Fernando Tatis Jr. Still don't understand the Padres moving him to the outfield. Like, he should be your shortstop till the franchise is over. Xander Bogaerts. Boy, what a season the Padres had. Anyway, right field, Fernando Tatis Jr. getting his first Gold Glove. And then as the utility player, another Padres, Han Seong Kim. That guy's been balling out all season. Shout out to everybody who's won a Golden Glove in 2023. We'll keep you updated as the award markets keep going. That's the one weird thing about MLB. It's like every 2 or 3 days they give out awards after the season ends. Still got about 8 or 9 days, I forget now, until we get Cy Young Award winners, which is what I'm waiting for with all my little heart. Got some huge tickets on some Cy Young winners. And I think I got a chance. Let's move over to the gridiron, baby. Talk some NFL foosball. Some foosball. Real quick, I want to talk about the Rams. What happened? You traded all your picks. Still got all your players. I just don't understand what happened. You sell your soul for a Super Bowl ring, and then have two of maybe the worst seasons ever? I mean, Matt Stafford's been limping around since the Super Bowl win. Aaron Donald, haven't really heard his name since the Super Bowl win. It's just fascinating that you can go from a Super Bowl winner to one of the worst teams in the league in that short period of time. And I thought to myself, was it worth it? And then I thought to myself, yeah, I mean, you played a game to win a championship. You was trash before. Might as well go all in, get a ring, and be trash afterwards. It's just crazy, man, that was even an option. Sell your soul for a ring, and they sold it. The Dolphins. I saw something from a prominent person in sports talk and sports gambling content. Somebody said that the Dolphins cannot beat good teams. His response was that he disagrees. Now, I want to say something real quick. Opinions are cool. Everybody's got them. That's what this show is mostly, my opinion. I do stick to a lot of facts. Not a big opinion guy at the bottom line, because the bottom line is this is a gambling show. And my opinion ain't worth $1 if it's not backed up by a fact. He says he disagrees. Well, 0-3 against good teams is nothing you can disagree with. Dolphins, above average at best. Said it last week, and I stand on it even stronger now. You have your Super Bowl contenders, you have your elite playoff teams, then you have the rest of them. And the Dolphins are the best of the rest. Look for wild card and first round exits in the future down in Miami. Wish I had a crystal ball as a prop. Dak Prescott. Yikes. 2 yards short. The one-time prevent defense prevents the other team from scoring. I meant to pull this up before I got on this. However, for some reason Dak Prescott just cannot come through when the city of Dallas needs him to come through the most. And I don't think it's his fault. I mean, I'm not saying it's not his fault. I do think it's his fault. What I'm saying is, y'all treat this guy, and I want to talk about Josh Allen here too in a minute. Another big trash guy that gets treated as an elite quarterback. I wish we could be more realistic with rankings and opinions. Yes, he plays for the Cowboys. Quote unquote, America's team. So he gets love. Don't understand it. Overpaid and not that good. He does throw for 3 touchdowns. His stats are there. And I get that's why y'all get tricked by the trickster that is Dak Prescott. He is exactly what I said about the Dolphins. There are elite quarterbacks. There are good quarterbacks. And then there's Dak Prescott, who is the best of the rest. Sorry. I don't know why my computer is not loading. I'm trying to pull up these statistics to back up my sayings. Try this uno mas. He goes 29 for 44. The fact that he threw the ball 44 times is crazy already. 3 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. Maybe yesterday's game was not on him. Maybe it's on the lack of the run game or the lack of attempts running the ball. Only 15 runs, it looks like, outside of Dak Prescott running for his life from the Eagles D-line. CeeDee Lamb almost gets 200 yards. If he got 2 more and 1 touchdown, they win the game. His stats are amazing. But we see it every year. He's a bona fide. That might be a little too harsh for the young cats. He's trying. Needs to try a little harder. The next overrated guy. And I mean, this guy, I really do have a bone to pick. Never again do I want to hear this guy's name as an elite quarterback. Josh Allen, first 4 years, above average. One quarter he was elite in his whole entire career. And since then, yes, trash. I think the Bills would be better with Josh Dobbs, who I want to speak on in a moment. I think the Bills would be better with Tyler Bagnett, which I'll speak on in a moment. I think the Bills will be better with about 80% of quarterbacks in the league than they are with Josh Allen. Those were 258 yards, 1 interception, 1 touchdown. It's the turnovers for me. Just does not take care of the ball. Reminds me of a less talented Brett Favre. Yikes. Bills 5-4, struggling on that struggle bus for sure. I remember they beat the Commanders and somebody else by like 30, maybe the Cardinals, and everybody was like, "Oh yeah, those Bills are rolling, rolling. I'm all over these Bills for a Super Bowl." Josh Allen, MVP. Some dumbasses, if you ask me. Bengals take care of business at home last night. The Ravens just been on fire as of late, and nobody, and I mean nobody, is talking about what this Baltimore Ravens team is doing. 7-2, absolutely murdering teams when they do win. They did have that close one against the Bengals. They had a close one against the Steelers. Close one against the Colts. Cardinals even kept it a little close. But if you look at these scores from half of their wins, you have 25-9, 28-3, 38-6, and then yesterday 37-3. We need to put some respect on the purple and black up there in Baltimore, both sides of the ball, offensively and defensively. And if Josh Allen is somebody you consider an MVP, let's put Lamar Jackson in that list. Having a way better season, both statistically and for his team, than Josh Allen could ever dream of. The Ravens need to be talked about. I know they won't be, but they need to be talked about. 7-2 again, going in to week 10. Josh Dobbs, how about it? I mean, this guy just cannot catch a break. Just cannot catch a break. No matter where he goes, he plays magnificent. And then he gets traded. And then he plays pretty damn good. And then he gets traded. And then, oh, look, Josh Dobbs, man. Got the Cardinals looking competitive. Get him out of here. He goes to the Vikings, which I believe he would have had the starting job the rest of the season after this week. Just didn't want to put him in a weird situation, getting traded on Monday and playing on Sunday. However, an injury. Josh Dobbs, less than a week of appearance, brings the Vikings back from the dead, winning the game against Atlanta. Shout out to Josh Dobbs. Two more things before we get to Monday Night Football, and then it is all college hoops, baby. I told you it's going to be an extravaganza today on Friday, and I do not lie. The Giants, New York Football Giants, need to think about a name change temporarily, just for the next few seasons, till you get back on track. I was thinking the New York Little Guys, or the New York Losers even fits the bill. New York Giants, yikes. Yikes, indeed. Now, how about the game of the day yesterday? And who would have thought the game of the day would be between Baker Mayfield and C.J. Stroud? The Buccaneers and Texans going into overtime. Texans coming away with a victory. C.J. Stroud leading his team down the field with 40 seconds left to win the damn game. Actually, I don't think it went into overtime. Excuse me. I had an inside source at the game, and I got a text that going to overtime. But I'm remembering now, then they whoop-de-wop, boop-de-bop, game over. Excuse me for that. Baker Mayfield, 21 for 30, 265, 2 touchdowns, 0 interceptions. He would be better on the Bills than Josh Allen. And then you have a young rookie stud who locked up the Rookie of the Year race yesterday, if you ask me, with the game-winning drive. C.J. Stroud. I'll say it right here. I did not believe in this kid at all. Didn't believe in Justin Fields. Don't really believe in Ohio State quarterbacks in the league. Kind of like I don't believe in Duke players in the NBA. But hey, CJ Stroud, 30 for 42. Wow. 470 yards. Wow. 5 touchdowns, 0 interceptions, and the game winning drive. Shout out to CJ Stroud on that one. Now, before I move on to basketball, give me the Jets, the Jets, Jets, plus 3.5 on the spread. Give me the Jets plus 3.5, baby. That is my Monday night football bet. I feel like I should talk about it a little more. I'll do like a minute on it, on this game real quick before I jump around. Jump, jump around. You got the Chargers struggling. I mean, absolutely struggling. I don't know why they're favored in this game. Couldn't tell you. My number has the Jets at home favored by about 1.5. Pick them. I don't think the Jets are going to run away with it. But I do think this defense is going to beat up on a struggling Chargers offense. Struggling both to get yards, first downs, and points. Sheesh. I'm going to be honest with you. For personal reasons, I need this over to hit. But I think the under is guaranteed. Jets win this game 19-17. Something like that. It's going to be oogly. It's going to be ugly. I will be heartbroken because it does not go over. I'm in a pool with about 20 friends. I'll throw up a few bucks, and winner takes a lot of bucks. But I need the Jets to win. And the tiebreaker is we choose the total for Monday night. I wasn't thinking last week. I put 43 like a damn fool. Never, I should have looked at, I don't know. I just did it. Somebody got 38 in the Jets, and the Jets win, will be tied, and they'll win the tiebreaker because it's going to go under, and blah, 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 blah. Might take the under heavy just to hedge it myself. But I'm definitely going to be on the Jets plus 320, plus 325, plus 3.5. Jets on the spread plus 3.5. I do like some props here. I can talk to them. I can touch on them. Sheesh. I mean, Justin Herbert over 8.5 rushing yards. Love it, man. Gonna take that one. Go to some receiving yards. I love Keenan Allen over 74.5. And sheesh, I can't decide. Cannot decide. Garrett Wilson is just, he's hit or miss, and it's not his fault. Zach Wilson is hit or miss. I think even if they lose, Keenan Allen is going to get the rock, and he's going to get over 74.5 yards. I think Herbert's going to scramble for over 8.5 yards. I still think the Jets are going to win. I just don't know where the statistics are going to come from. Will Breece Hall get 100 yards rushing? Or will Garrett Wilson get 100 yards receiving? Will Alan Lazard, Tyler Conklin, who will be the hero for the Jets? I think that's always the toughest one when you have teams that are so up and down and unpredictable. Is who the hell knows? Ain't no way I've been talking about this game for 3 minutes. Now that's crazy. But yeah, I'm going to go Justin Herbert over 8.5 on the rushing yards. I'm going to go Keenan Allen over 74.5 receiving yards. And I'm going under on the game. Under 39.5 and Jets plus 3.5. Hey, would you look at that? Same game parlay. Might as well. I'm going to do all this and then not even think about this game come 3 o'clock because... oh boy, oh boy, oh boy. Oh boy, oh boy. I was going to say some jokes about the NBA in-season tournament. As in, like, who gives a damn about it? Couldn't tell you one thing about it. Didn't watch a second of it. Nobody gives a hot ham about it. In-season tournament, 4 games into the season is dumb as hell. The courts were a nightmare. I mean, everything about this was horrible and horrendous. You had even players saying, I don't even know what the hell going on, man. I'm just trying to get some wins, get in shape. It's still early in the season. Nobody cares about this thing except for Adam Silver. But instead of doing that, I'm going to turn my attention for the next who knows how long. As I told you, I'm going to give you all of my futures in college basketball. Have 17 bets for tonight in college basketball. Man, it's a holiday. It's my favorite day of the year. That's kind of being facetious. I don't know if it's my favorite day of the year. But it's a beauty, especially with some of the matchups we get now early on in the season. You used to have to wait till January, honestly, for college basketball to get competitive. We've seen the last few seasons teams amping up their schedule in November and December, and boy, what a joy it is. I think teams, the old concept used to be get as many wins as you can before you got to go into conference play. Schedule light. Just get to January, 10-1, something like that. Then go into the 18-game gauntlet that is the conference. But I think teams are realizing, and I don't know who really started it, but I know for sure Michigan State's been at the forefront of scheduling tough games in November and December. And they're realizing even if you take some of these losses early, they're not really counted against you because you played a good damn team. Next Tuesday, you got Duke, Michigan State. Whoever loses that game isn't going to be kicked out of the top 25 or not making the tournament. But they will play a tournament-like game against tournament-like talent. The kids will be more ready come February and March. The team will be more cohesive, more battles, more wars. If you go out there and just win 10 games in a row by 30, you get into that conference season, now you got to really, okay, this is a different animal. We've been playing Detroit Murphy and Longwood and Radford and no. Let's get some good damn games going on. And today, this week, this month, and next month, there are some good damn games going on. I love it. And it's non-conference. Last year, also what it allows you to do is it allows you to see teams against teams. I picked UConn to win it all last year because they blew out Alabama in November. I know you're thinking, that's crazy. Hey, the eye test don't lie. Alabama and UConn were going back and forth. Next thing you know, UConn put it in fourth gear, and they're up 20. And I said, this is what they're going to do all season long. And by golly, and by garnet, they did. Now, it's not always that obvious, but there was a lot of talent on UConn that didn't get talked about due to the talent of Sudoku and Hawkins. Sudoku. I don't think that was his name. But now you got Donovan Clingan for UConn specifically and a whole new group of freshman guards. We'll have to see how they play. As well as all the other freshmen coming in trying to make a name for themselves. All the big name transfers. Putting on those new colors for the first time. And then you have a few coaches here and there donning a new windbreaker. Man, the two that stick out the most, Rick Pitino at St. John's and Ed Cooley at Georgetown. I wonder, oh I wonder. If Georgetown will be any good this season. We're going to start this off with win totals. I'm going to give you all the win totals I took for this college basketball season. Now, mind you, these books are shaking in their boots. These books are scared as hell. I've never seen this little amount of college basketball futures posted. Last season, I had 47 college basketball futures. This year, I could bet every single future that's listed and maybe only have 30. It's a damn shame. It really is a damn shame. You can bet on anything you want in most sports, but for some reason, and I know why. I know why. It's because people like me know more about college basketball than the books. And they've been getting hit over the head the last few seasons on college basketball. So now they're scared. They're giving you literally the most limited amounts of stuff posted I've ever seen. But even with that, I was able to scrape out what I think are some winners. And I think this season will be a huge conference outright winner season, whatever you want to call it. But win totals, starting the Big Ten, I love taking unders in the Big Ten. I mean, they just beat up on each other. Michigan State, I know this is going to confuse a few people. Michigan State's my favorite team outside of Syracuse. Michigan State is the one team, oh boy, do I root for them. Bet on them every damn chance I get. Give me the under on the Spartans of Michigan State. That is under 13.5, right about even right there. Minus 106 is the number I got it at. Under Michigan State win total. Just to be clear, if this is your first time betting futures, win totals, stuff like that in college basketball, this is not the whole season we're betting here. This is strictly conference play win totals. So maybe by January, when conference play starts, these books will have some more stuff listed, and I'll definitely around Christmas time update this list if that's the case. I don't know if they'll do that. Sometimes they close these markets as soon as the season starts, which will be today at around 3:30. So I got in on all the ones I wanted that were listed. There was only like 15 teams listed out of the 300 teams I would like to dive into. I just wanted to throw that out there. Michigan State under 13.5 wins. It sounds crazy. I'm taking my favorite teams under, but it's the Big Ten. They can go 13-5 conference play, which is still just absolutely amazing in the Big Ten, and I still win. So when you think about it like that, or when I thought about it like that, it was a no-brainer. 12-6, 13-5, I win. How could you not? Same thing with Purdue. Purdue under 14.5, baby. Minus 102. Purdue's under 14.5. Same thing I just said about Michigan State. I'm not saying Purdue's going to be trash. They can go 14-4 in conference play, and we still win our moolah. Keeping it in the Big Ten. Unders. Let me go Indiana. Under 10.5. I think 10-8 would be a good season for Indiana, given the players' turnaround, going from a team full of upperclassmen to a bunch of freshmen and sophomores. Now, this team does have talent. I think they'll be competitive. 10-8 just feels about right. 9-9 feels even better. I definitely think this team will get rolling late, as Mike Woodson's teams usually do. However, I'm going to take the under 10.5. I think they struggle January and most of February, especially in this Big Ten. That's going to be packed this season. Maryland. Give me Maryland. Under 11.5. I know that Maryland's supposed to be a lot better this season, But if you're telling me that Maryland's going to win 12 games in the Big Ten, I'd say you're a damn fool, my friend. But I wish you the best of luck. Give me Maryland under 11 and a half. And then the one over I do have is Michigan. Oh, and boy, will I regret this. Juwan Howard, the worst coach I've ever seen. I don't even know if Michigan has any talent left on this roster after everybody's been run off by the horrendous coaching. But this under is just too low for me. So I'm going to take the over. Take a chance. Dance with the blue. Give me Michigan over 8.5 wins. 9-9 seems doable. Out of all the ones I just gave you, it's my least favorite, believe it or not, even though it's the only over. And boy, do I know y'all love betting overs. 3 more win totals that I took. 1 in the SEC and 2 in the Big 12. The 2 in the Big 12 are both of the Kansas schools. And boy, do they have some value on them, because these books don't know how to set a line. A lot of these lines were minus 250 one way and like plus 180 the other way. Okay. Take the plus 180 on Kansas. Going over 13.5 wins. Plus 182 for Kansas to go over 13.5 wins. Hunter Dickinson will be either the best or the second best player in college basketball this season. The offense will be ran through him. And boy, do I think this Kansas team is set to do something special this season. Over 13.5 at a plus 180 is a no-brainer for Kansas. Now this next one, also a no-brainer for me personally. Kansas State, coming off of their spectacular season last year. I don't know if they can duplicate that performance. I don't know if they can make a deep run in the tournament as they did. But if you're telling me at plus 154, Kansas State over 9.5 wins, oh, you better believe it. I'm all over that like chili and cheese on a hot dog. Give me Kansas State over 9.5 wins at plus 154. Might be my favorite future of the damn so far. They go 10-8 plus 154. I want to start singing, but nobody wants to hear that. The last one I got for you, I think this team and John Calipari is going to come back, bounce back. You're going to hear this team's name again when I talk about conference winning. But give me Kentucky, man. Over 11.5. It's juiced, minus 130, but I don't mind. Give me a cup of juice and let the dollars come in. Kentucky over 11.5 on the season. Just to run through those real quick, and then I'll jump over to conference outrights. Oh boy. And then I get to give you my 17 bets for tonight. Boy, this is exciting, huh? Captain by a hook, baby, with the red beard. We're going to go Indiana under 10.5. Kansas over 13.5. Kansas State over 9.5. Kentucky over 11.5. Maryland under 11.5. Michigan over 8.5. Michigan State under 13.5. And Purdue under 14. Purdue under 14.5. That'll wrap up the win totals segment here on Captain by a Hook. Now let's jump into the conference, baby. I'm talking conference outright winners. I've been talking about this a little bit on the show before. Kind of just going to touch on it and go over it. I guess I'll talk about the Wooden Award too. I need to make some space for that. Nah, I've already talked about that at depth. Hunter Dickinson, Donovan Clingan. I'm going heavy on them. I did give out some long shots. Tyson Walker from Michigan State, Armando Bacot, Kyle Filipowski. There's a few players you can rock with. But Donovan Clingan and Hunter Dickinson, boy oh boy, am I going heavy on them for a Wooden Award this season. Let's start in the Big East. The only two tickets I have thus far is St. John's at plus 1200. Small amount. Will definitely be the last time I touch them. Um, I don't know. I like rooting for Rick Pitino, man. Plus 1500 on St. John's at a small amount. And then I have Villanova, who I think is being underrated. Not really because they're really being underrated, more because Creighton, Marquette, and UConn are just that good. But give me Villanova at plus 650. I think this will be the longest number you can get on them. I think they'll sit around plus 500 most of the season. And then the three teams I just mentioned, Marquette, Creighton, and UConn. I'm honestly going to play a revolving door game with these three teams. It's the Big East. If you don't know about Big East basketball, each one of these teams, no matter how good they are, at some point are going to lose 5 in a row. I don't know why. I don't know how. Each one of these teams are going to lose 5 in a row at different times. And when that happens, and that number drops, I'm going to jump on all three of these schools. No matter who wins the Big East, I will be profiting. And that's a fact. Jack, I will keep y'all updated on the show every time I take a bet, like I always do. Any future I take, I make sure I tell you about it. So we're going to go, that's how we're rocking the Big East. Talking about the AAC, no-brainer here. Put a nice amount on Memphis. I think this is the year Penny Hardaway and Memphis become a top 10 program. I think they run away with this conference. Give me Memphis, man. I got them at plus 210. They're now like plus 165. Memphis, trust me. Plus anything. Get on it while you can. If you see it at plus 500, some books are a damn fool. I'm going to take Memphis to win the AAC. The Mount West. This is a fun one. San Diego State plus 140. How could you not? And then just a root for a great program. Great core coming back. Great guard play. Great coaching. New Mexico. Jamal Mashburn Jr. Jamal Mashburn, one of my favorite players. Had his jersey as a kid. New Mexico, plus 400. All over that. Might even be plus 500 now. Heavy on New Mexico this season. New Mexico and Memphis are two teams that I will be rooting for. Probably because I maybe put a little too much on both of their futures. But hey, ain't no fun if you don't. There's an old saying, if you can't get none, then it ain't no fun. Or maybe it's the homies. Just keep it moving. This guy, first day back on the job, huh? Franklin Earl. My dog. Move on to the SEC. I'm all over Tucky here, but this is another weird conference, and for some reason, you don't even have to wait. You can take 3 or 4 teams right now at just some outlandish numbers, and boy, oh boy, I'd be lying if I wasn't on all of them. Kentucky, plus 600. Like I said, I think Calipari gets his mind right. No way in HE double hockey sticks do I think Tennessee wins this division, the conference. They're the favorites. I will fade Rick Barnes and Tennessee until I am blue in the face. Speaking of blue, Kentucky, plus 600. Give me the Wildcats to win the SEC. But like I said, you can take them at plus 600, and then you can even get 2 of my favorite picks. I mean, if Kentucky doesn't win it, Arkansas? Alabama? Oh my God. Plus 850 on both of those. Give it to me, baby. Nice and slow. Arkansas and Alabama, 2 of the best programs in the SEC. I know Alabama's a little tainted from last season. Arkansas, I don't know why they're plus 850. They should be up there. You got Florida and Auburn above these. I don't know. This is the best Auburn team Bruce Pearl will have. I can tell you about Auburn for 5 minutes, and just it's hard to believe in them. Same thing with Florida. Uh, Florida's gonna be damn good. Just you got Arkansas, Alabama, Kentucky. I don't think Florida's gonna be better than those three teams. I think they can be a number 3, 4, or 2 finish. Just don't see them winning at all. Um, so I like Alabama and Arkansas at plus 850. Love Kentucky at plus 600. And then just for funsies, Missouri at plus 1700 could surprise everybody. The Dub CC. See if this number changed. I hopped on Gonzaga at minus 120, minus 140 right now. How could you not? It's Gonzaga. It's the WCC. Only team that even had the chance is, and the odds show it. St. Mary's plus 140, and then boom, literally the rest of the 2500s, third place, fourth place, fifth place, and then you get all the way to literally 950 to 1, 140 to 1. Yuck. Gonzaga, easy bet there for that conference. The A10, baby. Oh, you didn't think I was going to do it, did you? You didn't think I was going to do it. The Atlantic 10, baby. There's a lot of teams here you can rock with. I'm just going to take the favorite and hope for the best. You could take Richmond at plus 2,300. Don't do it, though. I just wanted to say Richmond for the first time in 217 days. I do like St. Louis. I don't know. You got St. Bonnie's at plus 550. I'm just going to take Dayton plus 300 as the favorite. I know it's a loser bet to just take favorites, but I really like Dayton. Really believe in them. I'm going to do the Big Sky, and then I'm going to finish this thing off with the Big 12 and Pac 12. And then we're going to jump in to today's bets, baby. Big Sky, this is personal for fun. In Northern Arizona, plus 1,300. Just a flyer. I don't think there's a team in this conference that's really like dominating the conference. You got Weber State plus 180. Montana plus 300. Eastern Washington and Portland State both around 6 to 1. And then Northern Arizona at 13 to 1. Northern Arizona ended the season strong. They even had a pretty damn good conference tournament run, coming a game or two short of the big tournament. So shout out to Northern Arizona, building some momentum. I'm going to take them to win this conference and not think about it again. And I'm going to look up first week of March and be like, oh, shit. I'm going to be like, I'm taking it. Plus 1,300 on Northern Arizona. Let's talk about the Big 12, and then we'll finish with the Pac 12 for one final time. Big 12, baby. How could you not bet Kansas? Plus 175. I mean, how could you not bet Kansas? Plus 175. I think they're the easiest bet to make. I mean, what? 13, 14 out of the last 16 times they won this conference. A team I will take to kind of hedge them and fade them is Texas. Texas at 7 to 1. I love what Texas did last year, even with all the drama around Chris Beard and head coaching and Coach Perry getting the extension. And I think Texas is a hard-nosed team that's going to take this league by storm. It's going to come down to them or Kansas. And head-to-head, I kind of think Texas can play with Kansas. Maybe they split. I'm not even sure if they play each other twice with the new with the Big 12 being expanded. I'd have to look into that. I should have probably looked into that. But I'm gonna take Kansas at plus 175, and to save time, I'm not going to look into it. And I'm also got Texas at 7 to 1. I think they're doing something special down there in Austin, Texas, baby. Definitely one of my favorite bets. I will be rooting for the Hook'em Horns all season long. Houston's the second favorite at 6-1 in that division. I just trust me. I know, trust me. I just think um, big fish in a little pond. Now they're going to be a average fish in a big pond. Um, they're going to be good. I think it takes them 3 or 4 or maybe even 5 or 6 seasons to recruit at the level that Kansas and Texas does. Um, I don't think they're going to be bad. I think they're still going to be a tournament team. I think they're still going to be a winning season. My guess though is like 20-10, 7 or 8 conference losses. I think they roll until January, maybe even undefeated, and then they hit that Big 12 schedule, and things get a little wonky. Because trust me, it ain't like they usually disappear from January till March after they play their non-scheduled conference. But even on slow nights, you're going up against a West Virginia, or Oklahoma State, or even Oklahoma, or Iowa State, or Kansas State, Baylor, Texas Tech, TCU. These are not teams that are just going to lay down for you like the Tulane Green Wave of past, who are actually pretty damn good this year. Tulane, shout out Ron Hunter and what he's done down there in New Orleans with Tulane. But I think Houston definitely is not a bet for me in the Big 12 this year. I think they struggle. I think they end up around middle of the pack in the Big 12. Have a good Big 12 tournament. Even could have a great tournament run. I mean, the harder schedule could toughen up these players where they go into the tournament even better than usual. Like I said, they used to have a strong non-schedule, uh, non-conference schedule just to show everybody that they're cold, and then they go and hide in their conference for 8 weeks and then pop back up in the tournament. Um, Kind of weakened from their own conference schedule. Outside of Memphis, they really haven't played anybody. So definitely gonna not be jumping on Houston's train this season. Now, the Pac-12. This is heartbreaking, man. Heartbreaking. The Conference of Champions. Any other conference, Pac-12 should be the one conference that is not messed with. No, 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 no. This is the West Coast Conference, Conference of Champions. It is us against the world. The last time we'll have this conference organized as it is. And that is heartbreaking. Um, 3 teams I like here. I like USC at 4-10. I'm going to do it. The most hyped freshman of all time in college basketball, Bronny James. I'm going to do it. Not strictly because of him. Boogie Ellis, baby. One of my favorite players. Senior point guard for USC. He's going to have everybody in the right spots all season long. Give me USC behind the play of Boogie Ellis to challenge Arizona at this conference. Arizona at plus 180, not a bad play either. Definitely the best team on paper in this conference. And then I'm going to take 7-1 plus 700. Give me UCLA. Never, ever, 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 ever count Mick Cronin out. And of course, the Bruins, the mighty, mighty Bruins, are the team that turned this conference into the Conference of Champions way back when. Only feels fitting they win it the last year. It's here. And then Oregon, always a solid team, plus 950. Feels like a great number to get them. They always start off slow. I am on this 950. I plan on taking it around Christmas at about plus 1500 as well, just to ride it out. Maybe even late January, it'll be plus 2000. They're going to end up winning 9-10 in a row in late January, February, and at least being in the conversation. So I'm just going to take a flyer on Oregon. And that's how we rocking, man. Just to shout out West Virginia. I think they're going to have a great season. Man, the most talent I've ever seen on West Virginia. and Bob Huggins is no longer the coach. I guess I can recap it as fast as possible. Um, I'm not gonna recap Big East. That's too much to recap. But AAC, we're gonna go Memphis plus 210, Mountain West, New Mexico plus 400, San Diego State plus 140. SEC, we're going Kentucky plus 600. We're going Alabama and Arkansas plus 850, and we're gonna go Missouri plus 1700. Wooden Award, Hunter Dickinson, Donovan Clingan, slam both of those. Dub CC, Gonzaga minus 140. A10, Dayton plus 300. Big 12, we're going to go Kansas plus 175. Texas plus 750. The Big Sky, we're going to go Northern Arizona at plus 1300. And then the Pac 12, the Conference of Champions. We're going to go UCLA at 7-1, USC at 4-1, and Oregon at 950. Boy, oh boy. A damn hoot and a half, I tell you. Oh boy, I tell you. Now for the fun part. If you skipped all the way to this part in the video, you're a smart person. Because this is the bets for today. Put these bets in. I just realized I didn't write them down. I got them across like 4 different books. All right. I know what I do have, though. I didn't want to be going through every single book. Time to look at Stare Down Sports, which this show is presented by. Sorry, let me just get organized real quick. Just imagine this as a, I don't know, 30, 40 seconds commercial break. Sounds good to me. Sounds good to me. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard. I am Rowan Donaghy, aka Rowan Dives. This is the first day of college basketball. I'm sure a lot of you skipped all the BS and got straight to the good stuff. The bets for today. I'm gonna start off with the totals. I have 6 totals, all overs. Yikes! That doesn't even sound good coming out of the mouth. I have 6 favorites. And then I have 5 dogs. I'm going to start off with the totals and give out the favorites and then go to the dogs. We're going to start in North Carolina. They're taking on Radford tonight. North Carolina taking on Radford tonight. Over 141 and a half. North Carolina Radford over 141 and a half. I think this game gets out of hand and out of hand early, and I think even the backups run it up a little bit. I mean, I'm thinking this is going to be a 100-60 type game, and 141 just feels low. I think it should be 151, to be honest with you. The next one I got, this one is a little tough. I always hate taking overs on low overs. St. Peter's taking on Seton Hall over 126 and a hook. Anytime it's in the 120s, it's a reason. I'll just throw that disclaimer out there in college basketball. Anytime it's too good to be true, it's never too good to be true. However, I'm a fool. I'm a fall for it. It's the first day of the season. All the narratives into this game with Coach Holloway going back to St. Peter's, now coaching Seton Hall. I know it's been a whole season, but the magical run he had with St. Peter's, this game will always be on the schedule as a little smirk. I just wanted something on it. Give me Seton Hall, St. Peter's over 126 and a hook. Kansas, baby. I think they get rolling early, just like North Carolina. I think they put up 90 to 100. Hopefully, North Carolina Central can put up 50 of their own. Give me the over 141 and a hook on Kansas and North Carolina Central. This one is a beautiful one, priced just right. Give me LSU, Mississippi Valley, over 136 and a half. I think LSU, after struggling last year with zero scholarship players, they're going to pick the tempo up a little bit this season and get rolling. I think they put up 80 on their own tonight. I think Mississippi Valley, LSU's defense was amazing last year. See how they look this year. That's the weird thing about betting on the first day of the season. All that stuff you've heard about scrimmages and stuff, it's pretty much they just roll the ball out there and let the kids play against other teams and get conditioning and just see how they, what's it called? Cohesiveness. Not a lot of plays being ran in scrimmages, so kind of take all of that stuff with a grain of salt. This is going to be the first serious test for a lot of these teams. But I like the LSU Mississippi Valley over 136 and a hook. And then we're going to go Duke, Dartmouth. I'm going to take Duke, put up 100 on their own. Give me Duke over 140 and a half. Sorry. I'm trying to decide at the last second something. But hey, Duke over 140 and a half. And then my favorite bet of the day. Somebody. Anybody. Hit me with the horns. Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton with the best bet of the day on the totals. This guy's he's back working, y'all. Gave me 3 bets today. He even wrote them down in a golden pen for me. Shout out that boy Frank. Made too much money last year, huh? Came back with a golden pen from vacation. Got me working baseball by myself. USC, baby. Bronny James not playing tonight. Will be out. I'm sure TNT's like, because why the hell else would TNT put a college basketball? I've never seen college basketball on TNT in my life. All of a sudden, they got a USC game on TNT. Okay. Chasing them ratings. USC, Kansas State, over 142 and a half. Franklin Earl tells me this game is going to be a shootout, 80-80 going into the last few minutes. They will clear this over easily. I said, all right. You got to talk me into it. I've been riding with you, bro. Franklin Earl had just a fabulous season last season. Moving on to the favorites. I got 6 of them. We're going to go Rutgers. -5 and a hook. Rutgers -5.5 versus Princeton. This is my personal favorite bet. I asked Franklin Earl, and he said, I said, all right. I said, all right. We're going to go Rutgers -5.5 over Princeton. This does scare me, and Franklin Earl pointed it out. It's me. I'm acting like it's 2 different people. Talking to myself. Man, Princeton's discipline. First game of the season, we're going to see some missed assignments, some missed rotations on defense from all these teams. But against a team like Princeton, it's really going to stick out like a sore thumb. We're going to see some back doors and some wide open layups. Also, first game of the season, conditioning is not going to be 100%. We're going to see a lot of missed jumpers in the second half of a lot of these games. Rutgers could struggle to score against Princeton and give up a few easy ones. But I think 5.5 is a sweet spot. I love it. Even if they struggle, I think they win this one by 8 or more. Give me Rutgers minus 5.5. We're going to go into the Orangemen of Syracuse. Minus 14.5, taking on New Hampshire. I think this number is low because of the new coach. Nobody knows what to expect from Syracuse. He came out a month ago and said, we're running man-to-man defense, full court, pressing that ass. We're going to get up in people's pockets. Which means they're probably going to be an over team. A lot of turnovers, fast pace, pushing it, getting into people's grill. I think they win this game by 25, 30 points easily. Syracuse minus 14.5, taking on New Hampshire, baby. I tried to make it Franklin Earl's favorite, and he said, that's your team, buddy. Got to take the fan loyalty out of it. Syracuse minus 14.5, taking on New Hampshire. Belmont, love it, baby. Give me Belmont minus 6.5, taking on Georgia State. I'm going to ride that one. I don't think Georgia State has anything that they can bring to this game against Belmont. I think Belmont wins easily by double digits. We're going to go Kentucky, who usually struggle early. Boy, do they struggle early. I can see them losing this game outright. But then again, all the stuff that happened with this school last season, I'd slap the hell out of John Calipari if he loses this game. Give me Kentucky minus 17.5. I think Kentucky gets it by 20. Put a dub. Hang a dub on them, John. Kentucky, talented team as always. I think this is the most talent they've had in a while. Actual talent. They've had a lot of bust over the last few seasons. Give me Kentucky minus 17.5, taking on New Mexico State. And then we're going to go Colorado State. My bad. That is San Diego State, baby. Minus 14.5, taking on CSU Fullerton. San Diego State minus 14.5. I think they still got a sour taste for what happened against UConn. Give me San Diego State to set the pace, set the tempo, and set their season up early. Win this game by 20. They are minus 14.5. Now, for the favorite bet of the favorites, somebody, anybody, hit me with the horn. Colorado State, baby, minus 7.5, taking on my mother's alma mater, a school my grandfather was a professor at. Terry Bradshaw was a quarterback. Louisiana Tech, baby. Give me Colorado State to bust that ass last night in Ruston, Monroe, Louisiana. Colorado State minus 7.5. Taking on the Bulldogs of Louisiana Tech. Love Colorado State here. Franklin Earl gave it his stamp of approval. Moving on to the doggies. I will recap all of these as well. Moving on to the doggies. We're going to start off with a few money lines. Then we're going to take some numbers. Oral Roberts on the money line plus UT Arlington. I just think Oral Roberts is the better team from head to toe, from scouting to coaching to sets to everything, offense, defense. Give me Oral Roberts on the money line plus 110. I'm not saying they're going to blow them out, but I'll take the money line on Oral Roberts taking on University of Texas Arlington. They're going to go Akron on the money line. Getting a little funky on the first day of college hoops. Oral Roberts and Akron money lines. Trust me, it gets better. Akron on the money line, taking on South Dakota State. South Dakota State has been better and better and better. Akron is just, they got a reputation, you know? Love betting on Akron. Just going to take them on the money line plus 106 on the first day of the season. Why the hell not? We're going to go down to the south side of Houston. 3rd Ward. Going hard. Street lead. Sorry. Big Mo coming out of me. Texas Southern University plus 18.5. I just talked about how much I love New Mexico. Love them. Oh, I love them. I think New Mexico wins this game by 10 to 12 plus 18.5 on Texas Southern. Just a little too big for me. I do think New Mexico wins this game easily. I think it's a little backdoor situation where they're up like 15 the whole game, end up winning by 8 to 12. Give me Texas Southern plus the 18.5. Strictly a numbers play. Love New Mexico this season. But them feisty boys down there in 3rd Ward will come out swinging. They're going to go to a crazy one here. West Virginia, new head coach, gang of new players in the transfer portal. Star point guard transfer Steve Kershaw, whoever the hell his name is. Boy's a damn dog. Arizona's point guard last year. He's actually suspended for the first 9 games of this season. So not only will West Virginia have 16 new players from different schools transferring, playing, not only will they have a new head coach for the first time, and I can't even remember. I think Bob Huggins has been there since I was born. I'd have to look it up. But he's been there since I was in high school, which was a long damn time ago. Yeah, no point guard, new coach, new transfers. Give me Missouri State. A great, great small school. Missouri State, always loved their program. F the points. Give me the money line. I'm going to take the money line on Missouri State. Little long shot flyer here on the first game of the season. We're going to go Missouri State on the money line plus 210. Taking on West Virginia tonight in the first game of the season. Think it could be a little upset, a brewing over there. And then for Franklin, Earl's best, favorite, dog. I need somebody. Anybody. Hit me with the horns. Bellarmine. You know who the hell I'm talking about. Bellarmine. Bellarim. Bellarmine. Bellarmine. Plus 11.5. That's Franklin Earl's favorite. A doggy. Bellarmine plus 11.5 taking on the Washington Huskies. Bellarmine. Always around this time of the year. Them in Detroit Mercy, man. I love taking them plus the points. So does Franklin Earl. If you think Bellarmine is tough, they might win this game outright. I'll take the 11.5. If you're going to give me double digits versus Washington, I'll take it on Bellarmine. Just to recap it, and yeah, I know, I hadn't played the Horns in 217 days, but boy, I'm going to play them as much as I hot ham can. Starting back from the top, just to recap them quickly, all the totals. I'll do all Franklin's at the end. We're going to go North Carolina, Radford, over 141.5. St. Peter's, Seton Hall, over 126.5. North Carolina Central and Kansas, over 141.5. Mississippi Valley, LSU, over 136.5. Dartmouth, Duke, over 140. And the hook. In the favorites, Rutgers, minus 5.5 versus Princeton. The Orangemen of Syracuse, minus 14.5 versus New Hampshire. Belmont, minus 6.5, taking on Georgia State. And them boys down in Kentucky, taking on New Mexico State, minus 17.5. San Diego State, minus 14.5 over Cal State Fullerton. Some of the dogs I got. Oral Roberts on the money line, taking on UT Arlington. Akron on the money line, taking on South Dakota State. Texas Southern, plus 18 in the hook, taking on New Mexico. Missouri State, a money line against West Virginia. For the 3 best bets of the day, usually Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton only gives us 1. I need somebody, anybody. And I know this will be the last time. Every day after this, the horns will only be for the best bet. But hey, it's opening day. It's a college basketball extravaganza here. It's a damn holiday. I need somebody, anybody. Hit me with the horns. Shout out Mike Lowry. USC, Kansas State, late game. Give me the over 142.5. That's Franklin, Earl, Beardwinaton's favorite total of the day. His favorite of the day, Colorado State taking on Louisiana Tech. Colorado State minus 7.5. And then them boys at Bellarmine, however you say it. Give me Bellarmine plus 11.5, taking on Washington. Boy, oh boy, was that a joy to talk some college hoops with you guys right here on Captain by a Hook. I'll figure out the last few timestamps in a minute. I don't even know what's going on anymore. I am on a high of college basketball. StareDownSports.com. I wrote 3 articles this morning. All of my futures, pretty much everything I just gave you in the show is in written form on StareDownSports.com. Should be out by within the hour. It's 9 a.m. Central right now. It should be out by 10 a.m. Central. All of these articles, if you want written form. If you listen this far though, shout out to you. But yeah, if you don't want to sit there and write it down, I do give out all my bets written form. You can listen to the breakdown and then go just look at the article and read them. That is StareDownSports.com. Man. Can't wait to come back tomorrow. Tomorrow is the 1-year anniversary of this show, and it will be episode number 242. Over the last 365 days, I have came and spent the morning with you 242 times. And boy, oh boy, it's never enough. Wish I could talk to y'all more. Maybe I will in the future. Who knows? I got some big plans for this show. But anyway, thank y'all for listening. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for the love. And thank you for the support. This is Captain by a Hook with the red beard, presented by Stare Down Sports. I am Rowan Donaghy, a.k.a. Rowan Dives, going live on a fabulous Monday, opening day of college basketball, the 6th of November. Hey, it's a beautiful day, and this is a morning show. Please, I beg you, take all wagers at your own risk, and please gamble responsibly. Dives.